everyone. We're going to plot each point whose polar coordinates are given, then give two other points of polar coordinates for the same point. And basically, just for a refresher, this is a pole, this is the polar axis. So this is called the pole. It's usually at the origin. This is your polar axis. And then for your degrees, you would make your degrees, and that is your R, your radius, and you usually close that up. So that would be your ray. And we already did this video here with using polar grid. Now we're going to just use a coordinate grid for this side, so for these 4 problems. So these are the 4 we're going to do in this video. So for the first one, we have 1, 80 degrees. So I can label this like as 1, 2, -1, -2. And then what you do, this is your R is 1, and your angle is 80 degrees. So this is your R theta. So for your pole is at the origin, and then your polar axis is your x-axis. So we're going to go out to 1, and then you estimate the 80 degrees. So we know 80 degrees is close to 90 degrees. So you just estimate it and just go out 1 unit. So just going out 1 unit would be if we're going by 3s. So this would be 1, 1, 2. Just go out about 1, but 80 degrees. So something like that. You can make it a little closer if you want to the 90 degrees. So something like that. All right, and now we have to do other points. So for this one, we could do 1, 280, or -280. So we could take 1 and then take 80 minus 360 degrees. That gives you 1, -280. So if you go -280, it means you're going around this way, and we're right back at the same point, and then you draw up 1 unit for the radius. And then for another one, let's do -1. And to do -1, what all you do is you take this and add 180. So 80 degrees plus 180 degrees. So that's going to be -1, 260. So if you do 260 degrees, that's about really close to 270. Let's write this as -1. So it's really close to here. But since it's -1, you go in the opposite direction and go up this way. So that's your 3 points, or you can do 2 other points. You can do different ones. Okay, so the next one, we have 6, -pi/6. So here's your polar axis, and we're going out 6. So let's go 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and we want to go to pi/6, about -30. So that's going down. So go down to -30 and go out to 6 and draw it like that. So that would be this point B. And that's just estimating, and this would be -pi divided by 6. Now to get another one, we can just take 6 and take -pi divided by 6. and add 360 or 2 pi. That's going to give us 6 comma 11 pi over 6. And that gives you the same thing. That just means you're going around this way to 11 pi over 6. And then you're going out 6 from this angle. And then let's try negative 6. So for negative 6, we just take negative pi divided by 6 and add pi, which is 6 pi divided by 6. So that gives us negative 6 comma 5 pi divided by 6. So 5 pi divided by 6 actually goes out this way. But since we have negative, that means we go in the opposite direction and go back this way. So here's your 2 other points. All right, and for C, 2, 490. So for that one, that's going to be 490 minus 360. What is that? That gives me 130. So that's going to be about at 120-ish. So here's your pole, your origin. There's your polar axis. And we're doing 2. So let's go 1, 2, and then this should be dashed, kind of. We're just dashing this line because we're just estimating. So basically at 490, that means you're going around twice. And we're going to 130. So that's about here. And we want to go out by 2. So that's going to be approximately, let's go out 2. This is 1, 2. So probably about like that. This is 1, and this is 2. All right. So that's this going around twice to this angle at 490 degrees. Now the other ones you can do is you can just take 2 and we can subtract 360. If you subtract 360, that would be 290. No, not, we're at, it'll be 130, which we already did. So that means at this point, you're just going once to there. You're not going around twice. And then to do the negative 2, you're going to take 490 minus 180, and that's going to give you negative 2, comma 310. So again, 310 would be about here, the opposite way. But since it's negative, if you go this way, this would be 2 310. But so to go the opposite way, you're at the same 2 other points for that point. And the last one, we have negative 3, 110. So let's go to 110. And 110 is going to be about a little more than, so 110 is right about here. Again, this is your pole, and this is your polar axis. And we're going to be using 3. So I'll do 1, 2, 3. And the rest of this should all be kind of dashed. So there's your 110, but we want to do negative 3. So instead of going up 3 here, 1, 2, 3, we're going down. So we're going 1, 2, 3. So you go the opposite way to about 3. So that'll be about there. So this is 110, but since it's negative 3, we go the opposite direction. So there it is. This is point D. And the other points we could do, you can make it positive 3. And you take 110 plus 180. And that would give you 3, 290 degrees. And that gives you the same point here. And you could do also 3 and subtract 360 and you get 3, negative 70. So you could just do negative 70 degrees, go this way, and then we want to go 3. 1, let's just be like 1, 2, and 3. And you get the same point. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.